Good morning. I'm Jim Giese, President of Western Technology. I'm here in Salt Lake City with our Director of Engineering, Dr. Michael Crayley. It's come up recently that we are more and more concerned over the growing number of reported explosions and fires that are occurring within our industrial base. The cause of these fires isn't often known in terms of the single source, but they're occurring with greater frequency. And part of the problem is not only the destruction of the asset and the pollution that's caused by it, but injury to personnel and in some cases fatalities, which is just unacceptable. We get into also a secondary concern that we have is not only the fire and explosion, but more commonly experienced is the failure of a light in a dark temporary workspace and darkness that's a result of it and injury to or confusion to the worker in those spaces. But I thought we'd start the conversation off this morning with Michael. Michael, what is explosion-proof? Why is it explosion-proof?
Well, it's a good question. Explosion-proof light is a light that has been certified to ensure that no explosion can be generated by the light into the outer atmosphere.
So it's not to withstand the explosion in the workspace.
That's correct.
Okay. I think there's some confusion with that. When we think about explosion-proof lights, there's two primary categories. Explosion-proof lights that are fixed and installed, and portable explosion-proof light. Now, is there any similarity between the two types of explosion-proof lights?
There is similarity in that they are all constructed to help control any explosion. But the big difference is that fixed lights are mounted in an area that are not going to be handled by personnel. Portable lighting systems are handled all the time. They accidentally drop, they fall, things hit and fall on them. All these things can cause damage to that light.
Well, we have, through our service department, maintained lights for 10 years, the whole history of since the beginning of the construction. So we see all sorts of examples of real severe, dirty, nasty environments that the product is used in and works in. So kudos to you and your team for doing such a great job on the lighting line. When you talk about portable lighting, we design for 4 different classifications. We deal for explosion-proof Class 1, Div 1, Class 2, Div 1, combustible gas, combustible dust, the certainty of the presence of. We design for portable. They must be a portable fixture, not something that was intended to be installed and deferred to. Wet location and low voltage. Tell me why you built for low voltage. Why?
Well, a critical element of the light is that it's able to withstand multiple surges, power surges, and different electrical generation units. So a generator may be outside, may cause a power surge. So the low voltage operation helps maintain the electronics of the light, which, by the way, are the highest caliber electronics that can possibly be built. Because these lights, being portable, again, they can drop, they can impact, and so those electronics have to withstand that.
Well, you also bring up the issue of low voltage and keeping the lights on so that you don't have power surges burning a light out. Is that correct?
That's correct. Darkness is the primary enemy.
And since portable means you're going to be plugging it into multiple potential light or power sources over the course of its life, that's important too.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, you take, and all of our lights are built to operate at a cool temperature range. So you have said in the past that the brick operates at 60% of the design capacity of the electronics and the diodes. That means cooler operating temperature, and what else?
Well, it also gives you greater longevity of the electronics because it's operating at a cooler temperature. But because we have a thermistor-controlled environment, we're able to take the lights that are normally could be bagged or possibly covered with dust or dirt or things like that could elevate the temperature and cause damage and possibly cause a fire. Because we have thermistor control, we're able to keep it cool all the time.
So it'll automatically back the lighting level off and the heat required generated. So there's no issue with bagging the lights to protect it from overspray and or any ambient condition that's floating in the air. That's pretty cool. Also, the glass lens protecting the primary lens, which just slides into the front, and that's pretty cool too. When you get into darkness again, and what we've said earlier is that darkness potentially can cause more problems more frequently than explosions. Thank goodness, I guess. The ability to prevent darkness from occurring goes back to the construction of the light, bumpers, the low voltage. All these key features allow the operator to have greater trust and certainty that once installed, once positioned with all the mounting options we have, that light's going to stay in service. You're comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
And we're seeing those lights, again, in service for 10 years, coming back occasionally just for cable replacement. Also, I want to kudos to you and your team for being able to take and work with the listing agency, Intertech, and get the new standard established so that the cable can be placed in the field. The green sleeve represents that the end user can replace a damaged cable on site and or change cable lengths on site with the help of initially of your video online.
Yes.
That's a super cool deal. We get into the issue of certification documents. I believe that anyone that's going to buy an explosion-proof product, a light, should ask for the certification documents to make sure that the standard is not a fixed light represented as for portable service. It is a light system that was built for portable service, and the standards support that. The certification documents will support that. Is my understanding right?
That is correct. You need to have that documentation.
Well, you need it for both your team safety leads, you need it for your insurance, you need it for your job files. It's all relevant. There's a lot of confusion in the marketplace and a lot of misrepresentation as to the extent of certification. The end user of the Western Technology product is assured that the light is as represented and is built to take the most demanding applications and light those spaces up just the way they should be. So if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of myself or Michael at your convenience, and we appreciate your business. Thank you very much.